Hey everybody, you guessed it, it's me and I'm back. Today we're going to hollow out the box part of this box I'm making, and we're going to make the lips and everything so that the lid fits nice and snug on the box. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to flip this over to the other side. So I'll do that real quickly. Now this area in here is going to be a slight little hollow that I'm going to make. Has nothing to do with the lip really. This right here, this space between this and this, the space is actually going to be where the lip is, and we're going to carve that down. So in order to do that, I'm going to carve it down 1/4 of an inch. So we can set up that tool path right now. If we go over to tool paths, I think what I'm going to do, because to avoid potential future problem, is just draw a rectangle in here. Doesn't really need to be particular size. It doesn't need to be exactly centered or anything like that. Just needs to be there and needs to be kind of close. So let's go back over to the paths, and let's get rid of this one because we won't be using it. Now let's make a pocket tool path. We'll pocket this whole area out, and it's going to take 4 passes to get down. We want to do 1/4 of an inch, so it'll take 2 passes, and that's fine with me. We want to go ahead and calculate that. We'll reset the preview and run that. I'm happy with that. That's just fine. Alrighty, let's go back over to the drawing section. So we want to hollow this out a little bit. The underside of the lid. Not a lot, but a little bit. And so I'm going to set that up real quick. The first thing I'm going to do is draw in a rail, and I'm going to put it right along there. Then I'm going to draw the profile of the hollow, which I'm just going to use another arc. We'll make it that deep. That's going to look good. And we'll calculate these tool paths, or this tool path. So we'll go in the profile. First thing we'll do is select the guide rail, then we'll select the profile, and I'm going to reverse this. And one of the things I want to do is put a gap above the tool path so that it actually sits down in there, because if you remember, we've hollowed this out to accommodate for the lip. So this area sits lower than this area. So we're going to set that gap at what that distance was, which is 1/4 of an inch. And let's see here, we've got the 1/8 inch 2 fluted bit in there, the end mill. We can calculate that out, and we'll have a look and see what that looks like. That's what that part looks like. And then that pocket, yeah, that's real nice. I like the way that looks. And then I can later on I might do a smoothing tool path on this with a smaller bit, just to get it smooth. But actually I'm going to need to do another staggered tool path on this anyway, being as this is a full 1/8 of an inch down here, and that might be a little hard on that 1/8 inch bit, but I'll worry about that later. Anyway, so this part is done. I can close this out and go into the 2D view. Now we want to open up the box. And so sheets. Turn the box. I'll turn the box on. Make it active. And we're going to look at the top side of it now. Now this line right here corresponds with where that lip is, but this is an exact copy. So what I want to do is inset this a little bit. So what I want to do is make this part a little bit wider in here. Otherwise the lip on the lid is never going to fit on there. It's just too close of a fit, and that's easy enough to do. We'll just highlight it. Let's get over to the drawing, and we'll inset it now, or offset it rather, excuse me. We want to do it inwards, but how much? And I think to make a nice, fairly snug fit should be about 4/100 per side. So if I do 0.08, I think that's going to do it. That looks a little close. So I think I'll do try 0.06. That looks better. All right. So what I'm going to do is now carve this down a little less than 1/4 inch. That will be my inside lip. Now I want to make an outside one, and it's so that there's no scraggly stuff lying around that I don't want. Don't ask me what I mean exactly by scraggly stuff. It's just I want to make this rectangle just a little bigger than the outside of the material and the outside of the final size of the box. And that is so that I don't have any of these corners that stick up or anything like that, and it really cuts it off completely and cleanly. That should be good. Alrighty, let's go over to the tool path. The first thing we're going to do is a pocket operation, which is this one right here. Now our vectors are going to be this inside one here and this outside one there, and we're going to use that 1/4 inch bit, and we're going to go down a little less than 1/4 inch, so about 0.23 should do it. And if I need a little more taken off, then I can always sand it off, but that'll make sure that the lid, when it fits down, won't leave any gap between the box and the lid. Let's go ahead and calculate that out, and let's have a look and see what the preview looks like. That looks pretty good. It's not leaving any artifacts of any kind or whatnot. So let's go back to 2D view. Now, excuse me, I want to make another pocket tool path of just the inside here. And so what we're going to do, we'll close that, make another pocket tool path. We'll select that as our vector. And we're going to go down, since this is 1 inch thick, from the surface of the material. Well, see, this has already got a start depth going for it of 1/4 inch, so we can go a start depth of 0.23, and then a cut depth of, let's see, now if I went down 0.75, I'd want to go down another 0.52, and that should leave me 1/4 inch on the bottom, and that should be good. Let's calculate this out and see what happens. Alright, let's have a look at these, although we'll kind of do them in order. That is the outside lip. This is the inside. Now it looks like it's leaving a little bit of an artifact over here on the side, but that I'm not going to worry about. That'll, if it actually leaves it on the wood, that'll be like super easy to get rid of those. There's one over on this side. I'm not at all concerned about those. What I want to do now, go back to 2D view, is make a toolpath to actually cut this down. So that will be a profile toolpath, and for the vector we choose the outside of the box. Now I don't really want to mess with tabs, they get to be kind of a hassle, so I want to go down, it's already set there. I wanted to go down, since this is an inch thick, about 1/8 of an inch less, so that would be 7/8 of an inch, and that's 875. That's what we got. Go around the outside. Let's calculate that out. That's what it looks like. Let's run it. Yeah, that'll be just fine. And then I can cut that off on the bandsaw, and that should fit up on the lid of the box just fine. So there you have those tool paths. The next video, I'm going to show you, we'll actually start cutting this out on the CNC machine. That'll probably be, I'm not going to work on this tomorrow, but probably Monday, I should be able to put out a video showing the actual cutting this out on the CNC. Thanks for watching.